Hello and welcome back to the very best show on the internet. It's FloWrestling Radio Live. I am not Christian Piles screaming in your ear, believe it or not. He is down in the Sunshine State, Florida, getting amazing content, solving all of college wrestling's problems, and mostly just talking to their coaches who are down there trying to solve all of wrestling problems. But we got a fun show today because I've got Andrew Spade joining me, per usual. Kozak over there behind the computer, flexing on us all way too hard.
Hacking the mainframe as we speak.
For a Thursday morning. And joining us remotely is senior world teamer Jax Forrest. Jax, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. On vacation.
Vacation? Where are you calling in from?
Carolina Beach.
Carolina Beach. Now, you're originally from North Carolina, right? Are you originally from close by?
So I'm from Chapel Hill, which is about 2.5 hours away from here. But when we lived there, we would come to Carolina Beach often. So I know the area here pretty well.
Right on, right on.
How far away is that from Corolla or Duck?
Not sure.
No. Those are the Outer Banks places I know.
Those are
I don't. I think we're Bada. We're near Wilmington. Closer to Myrtle Beach area, where Outer Banks is more north?
Yeah, Kitty Hawk and all that fun stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, southern part of the Barrier Islands. Thanks for that.
Yes.
What age did your family move from Carolina to Pennsylvania?
So I was 14. So it was, I think it was 21 in August is when we moved.
Well,
so once COVID was not ending, but COVID was everything was kind of back to normal more per se.
Yeah, it was obviously a decision that has paid off for you. You made a senior world team this year, and I actually had a question about that. It seemed to me, from an outsider perspective, you were maybe a little more ecstatic actually after winning the U.S. Open and surprised when you beat Seth Gross in the U.S. Open finals than when you beat Vito to make the world team. Is that true? And if so, was winning the U.S. Open kind of like a real confidence booster? So it's yes, I am ready to do this on the senior level.
Yeah, I think it was. It definitely was. Just the way that the Open happened, where I was just gonna do U20s. I didn't have as much time to mentally prepare myself to win. So it was when I did win, I was real excited. I mean, I was excited after I beat Nashon, after I beat Ben, and then Seth. And then when I was going against Vito, I had 2 months to really think about that one match. And that was all I was thinking about. So it was in my head, I already had won. But it definitely, like you said, the confidence definitely, it skyrocketed after I beat Seth and won the Open. And then now it's even more skyrocketed after I beat Vito. And so going into, world championships, I'm about as much confidence as probably any of the other guys on the team have.
There's been a lot of discussion kind of surrounding how much you have competed being a high schooler and kind of coming off that season versus Vito, who has been kind of laid up this year and hadn't competed almost in a whole year. How much do you think regularly competing has helped you this past year and change?
Yeah, I mean, it's helped me a lot with, it was just I was on the high school level, so it's not the same as, if I'm going overseas and wrestling at these ranking series tournaments, but it's just I'm just getting different feels. I'm hitting new moves where I think sometimes these guys, when they're on the senior level, is they got their moves and that's all they're going to try and hit. Where I'm still in that developing stage where I'm still trying to get better at leg attacks, at baseline defense, at parterre top, parterre bottom, all these positions. So I think just the more matches, maybe the kids are obviously they're in high school, they're not as good as what these senior level guys are, but they give different feels and it's just different, and it's more practice, more time on the mat, and it just helps me just love the sport more. And if you're loving the sport and having fun, that's you're gonna go hard and you're gonna want to get better.
Do you ever feel bad when you're wrestling a random Pennsylvania kid in high school and you just are dominating him? This isn't fair. We're not on the same level.
Yeah, at first I always felt really bad for those kids, and not like I'm when I would wrestle them, like I wouldn't try and hurt them. Like my mom and stuff, she would always be like you're really gentle with these kids. Like it's really weird, but like there's been different like coaches and just kids around me that have like after I've wrestled them or their coaches after I've wrestled their kids, they've come up to me and they're like it was an honor to wrestle against you. Like thank you for that opportunity. Like and not like trying to hurt me or like doing that stuff. And so like the way I look at it now is like I'm almost like this is something like if I was in their shoes, I'd be like telling my kids like, "Yo, I wrestled." Like I used to do that all the time when I wasn't very good, and I would wrestle a kid from Pennsylvania. Like I'm talking like elementary, middle school. I'd wrestle a kid from Pennsylvania, and I'd get beat up. I'd be like, "Dad, I got to that kid's leg. Like, like that's awesome." And so like I hope that like some kids say that about me. I think that'd be kind of cool. But
Yeah, Jax, I can confirm as an old dude that wrestled people a long time ago that you remember the best guys that you wrestle far more than like some of your wins or whatever. So the fact that I got beat by like some guys that ended up being all American, that's the stories that I'm going to tell now versus like, oh yeah, I beat a guy for third in the district that you never heard of or whatever. But no,
yeah,
it's oh, I got beat up by this guy that went on to place at NCAA's. They're fun. So you
yeah, like
don't
I
feel
know.
bad about beating people up.
No, like I'm gonna tell my kids like, hey, like look at some of these kids that I wrestled when I was my age, whether I beat them or lost to them. Like those are gonna be the stories that I tell them. Like wrestling DeSanto, for example, like wrestling him, I lost to him. It wasn't a nice match, we were scrapping, but like I had a big like cut down my chest, and that's when I'm gonna tell my kids like this crazy dude cut me when we're wrestling.
100% you're going to have a DeSanto story forever now.
Oh no, no, for sure. Yeah, I like Austin a lot. I've trained with him a good amount, so it's we're cool with each other, even though he beat me.
Yeah,
But
and then the tricep, you're going to be able to be like, this is where he
yep.
pinched my tricep till it was black and blue.
Uh-huh. Yeah, here's a scar I have on my armpit.
Uh, with the success you're having now, even on the senior level, have you given any consideration to foregoing your senior year at Bishop McCourt and either training full time in Stillwater or OTC, or even finishing high school early and getting right away into college, either at semester or as soon as you can?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I haven't. I mean, I've talked to the coaches a little bit about it, but I haven't made any decisions yet. I'm obviously I'm weighing the pros and the cons for both, and I'm really really close with my family, and so that would kind of be the hump, and my friends. Obviously, we're so close there. It would be hard to leave, but I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen. I know there's definitely possibilities for pretty much all the options you just said, but it's still trying to figure it out, trying to make sure I'm staying focused on worlds, and then kind of make a final decision then. But
Well, just saying, you're only a one-time regional champ. You got to go
I
back
know
on that
that's one of the
second
things.
regional title.
It's one of the things. It's like my younger brother Jameson, he's wrestling. He's gonna be a freshman, and so like that's one of the things. Like he may go to Oklahoma State, he may not. So it's like we may be on a team in the future, but I wouldn't want to try and rush out of it, even though I might, but I might not. You never know. I'm very impulsive. I'll make decisions, and who knows what it's gonna be.
No, there are pros and cons.
Jackson,
Yeah, exactly.
in a similar vein, after you made a senior world team, I imagine you've always had some pretty lofty goals, and you've always, been gunning for, the highest levels that you can reach. But what's the conversation been like now that you've made a senior world team with your coaches and your family about, maybe we can stretch some goals. Maybe, my schedule's going to look different. I think you have at least one more year of U20 eligibility. Maybe it's like, okay, we don't focus on age level anymore. How has that process been with you and your coaches and family?
Yeah, I mean it's been crazy. It's just like I've just been like achieving the things I want. So it's like we're trying to keep making me excited, making me try and chase things and keep going, because that's where we've noticed like that's where I've been the most productive, is like when I'm trying to chase something down. And so right now, I have a really big goal I'm trying to chase down. I want to be I want to be a world champion, more than anything right now. And so these next month and a half, it's September 13th is, I mean, I'm gonna be ready for that. And, my goal obviously is to go and win worlds, win in worlds. All right. I'm sitting in Final X next year. Now I'm looking to get back on the world team and then just trying to keep it going and, eventually go to the Olympics and just achieve the things that are in front of me. But it all starts with this one because I think if I can go and medal, win worlds, I'm going to be setting myself up real good, not having to run the gauntlet at the Open and then come back to Final X. It's going to be make it a little bit easier on myself.
Yeah, and then pretty soon you'll have a full slate of college matches. Oklahoma
Oh
State
yeah.
released some of their
Uh-huh.
opponents. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that, but I mean, every year it's been the same, before David with Coach Smith, but, they're not slowing down as far as taking on challenges in the college realm.
Oh no. No, yeah, I've been seeing it. It's gonna be a season for sure when I'm in there with the guys. And we're gonna have so many battles on against other teams. I mean, we're wrestling pretty much every top team, and then NCAAs, which that's what I like. It's what I moved to Bishop McCourt partially because of that, because they wrestle the hardest schedule, because they're going to these top tournaments, all that stuff. It gets my competition. Just I'm ready. I'm used to wrestling the best guys, so that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
I want to take it back to your series with Vito. You win in 2 matches. Did that go about as expected, or did anything surprise you about how that series went down?
No, I mean I tried not to think about the how it was going to go, whether I was going to win a match, lose two, win two matches, lose one, get swept, sweep. I tried not to focus on that. I tried to focus on just the wrestling in the position. So, the first takedown he got on me was when that happened, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this dude is insane. This dude is so good." But I took from that, like I got taken down, and then it was like we practiced so much leg lace defense. So it was like I knew what to expect. And so after I didn't get turned, I was like, all right, it's 2 points. I can score 2 points. And then it's like each time in the match, like I tried to just keep gaining confidence. And you know, after the first match, that I mean, I would never say I'm gonna try and win a match with 5 seconds left, 10 seconds left, but that was what was right in front of me. But then actually going into the second match, I was talking to my dad, and I was like watching these Final X matches, the second match, the guy who lost the first match is always coming at him super hard. It looked like they're trying to push the pace, they're trying to score early, score quick. So I figured he was gonna try to do that to me, and I was gonna try and catch him off guard with a shot, with a slide by, something like that. So the second match actually went more how I was gonna plan a match than the first one, but it's wrestling. You never expect what's gonna happen. Something weird is gonna always happen, especially with me.
Was there a moment where you kind of felt Vito maybe break, or you were like, "All right, I've got it. This is my match in match number 2."
Yeah, I mean, right after I got that first takedown and turn, I was like, oh man, I'm feeling good. Like I'm in the flow state. I'm not getting taken down. I'm not gonna keep trying to irritate, to frustrate him, trying to get him off his game, because that's where I know like if he's on his game, I mean, you guys know he's practically impossible to beat. So my whole game plan was to try and get him a little irritated, get him a little frustrated, get him to take some shots, get him a little tired. And so I see like all online, people are talking about how like Vito wasn't 100%, Vito wasn't normal, and who only he knows. So I might just try to hype myself up a little too much right now. But I think it's because of how I wrestled. I think I was doing things to get him tired that he's not normally used to. And so it's like obviously, like I just said, I'm seeing things. So I mean, like I said, they might be right, they may not, but in my head, I think he got tired because of the what I was doing, and what I was doing affected him. But like I said, who knows? Who knows what the real truth is?
No, I think there's absolutely probably something to that. You're speaking about kind of you were really feeling yourself in this flow state.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that, or what sparked your little run back to the center there in match number 2?
Yeah, I knew I was up 5. I knew there wasn't really anything that he would have done to score 5 points. And so I look over, my coaches are yelling, run back to the center. And I'm like, I don't gotta run back to the center, but I was like, I'll just do this to make you happy. I'll run like a weird dude. And then coming off the mat, my dad was like, oh boy, what did you just do? But yeah, so it's
Well, I
funny.
loved it. I mean, it shows you're just out there having fun.
Yeah, and that was a big thing. I was during the breaks, normally during the breaks, I'm getting nervous. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm winning. I'm winning at the break, 2-2 criteria. I'm winning 4-0. Like, this is a dogfight. But no, I was over there having fun. I was like, wait a minute, like I can compete with this guy. Like I can go out there. I'm not getting manhandled. I'm having fun. But go back to the run. My mom, when I was younger, I would always run with my arms going much faster than my legs. So that was like exactly how I used to run as a kid, and I probably haven't ran like that in 10 years, but somehow it sparked out that day.
We got to get it trending. We got to figure out how to make that a TikTok thing now.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
We'll talk to some other people here, but yeah, we'll get it going. We'll get it trending. The Jax Forrest run.
Awesome. There we go.
I also want to know, you have one of, in my opinion, the best walkout songs in wrestling with Funky Town. How'd you settle on that one?
I was getting ready for Who's Number One going to my freshman year, and I found out they had walkout songs, and I was like, my mom was the one who actually like knew the song, and she was like, wait, like you should do that, like, because I've always liked scrambling. Everybody always said how like funky I was, and I think it might have been Willie that like said something about like how funky I was versus like how like staying in position and fundamentally sound Jesse Roga was, and it was like complete opposites. And I think he used the word funky in there, and then my mom was like, "Oh, Funky Town, like that should be your walkout song." And so since then, I don't think I've ran out with a different song.
No, and I don't think you should.
Yeah, keep using what works. How did you?
Yeah, I know, right?
What did you think of the of wrestling at Fargo at such a big stage? I mean, it's not that you've been on big stages before. You just mentioned Who's Number One, but now you had the whole, wall of people watching. I thought USA Wrestling did a great job with a crazy tournament going on, making that like a special event, especially the first match with the walkout and the announcement. The second match, the rest of the tournament's kind of going on, so it's a little bit different. But how did that experience compare to some of the other big stages you've wrestled on?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot different. And in my opinion, like I'm so used to wrestling, like at these tournaments. I'm not usually there just hanging out, coaching, watching my friends, all that stuff. So, the production was really good. I was really impressed with it. I didn't know what to think going in there, but looking back, the way we had like even the weigh-ins were really everything was just super simple. And then I was just able just to eat some food, go see what Fargo's really about, where I'm not worrying about wrestling or making weight again. And like I was saying in my interview afterwards, I was just trying to be a servant to my brother, to my teammates, and you know, got some good coaching in, and it was really I had a good time at Fargo, and whether I would have lost to Vito, I think I would have been the same way about going on it afterwards, and I think it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, I want to commend when you get a chance. Give a kudos to all the Bishop McCourt guys. I think they were the loudest fan group when I was calling matches on that stage there. You could definitely hear them for every match, and they weren't taking a match off. They were obviously rooting for the PA guys or the Bishop McCourt guys, but then they would just pick, if it was like two random states, they would just pick someone to cheer for. So, respect to those guys.
No, yeah, we're a real good group of cheerleaders and wrestlers. So we know a lot of people just growing up. So like you could pick two kids in the round of 264, and we probably know one of them, and we'll be cheering for them, like you said. And when we cheer loud. That's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, that was fun.
How jealous of you were of those Vermont Ben and Jerry's Fargo singlets?
I didn't see any of them like at Fargo. I just saw online like when you guys posted them, and those were sweet. I would those are really nice. I was actually talking to a guy about getting one, so we'll see.
Okay.
If
Anybody
I do
that's
that,
Anybody that's got one of those singlets, hit Jax up and maybe
Just
work
say
out a swap. That
I'm sure somebody would be pumped to do that.
I'm sure you got plenty of stuff to offer in
That'd be
trade
cool.
too. After so
Oh yeah,
many
yeah, I
things
got
that
some
you've done.
stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a ranking. I need a ranking of maybe top 4, maybe top 5 Ben and Jerry's flavors in order.
All right. Okay. I'll start with 1. So 1 is gimme s'mores. It's my go-to. I had it last night actually. 2 is the peanut butter half baked.
There,
Number
that's
3,
number 1.
that one. Those depending on the day, those ones are swappable for sure. Number 3 is Netflix and chilled.
Yep.
Number 4, I'd say the Americone Dream.
Yeah, I like that one.
And then and then number 5 is gonna be the salted caramel core.
Yeah.
Blondies and I mean I've eaten probably about every Ben and Jerry there is.
Yeah.
Some of them like I know like Cherry Garcia is a big one. I'm not a fan of that one. What is it? Chunky Monkey or something. That one, it's like banana and walnut. Not my type. Like if I'm eating ice cream, like I want all the sugar and all the good stuff as possible. I don't want any bananas or cherry or any of that kind of stuff.
No, you eat enough health food over the course of a year anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, what if Coach Taylor comes to you and says, "Hey, we need you to lock in on your diet here," which means cutting out the Ben and Jerry's. Is that a deal breaker?
Yeah, I've had a couple talks with Coach David and Coach Jimmy and my dad and about how I'm going to need to start fixing things for when I got to make weight weekly in college and I do a good job like I didn't have any Ben and Jerry's for like 2 to 3 weeks leading up to wrestling Vito. So like I when I'm not wrestling, I'm like I eat my Ben and Jerry's, but when I got to start getting ready, get my weight down, I've been doing a better job. Getting
Ice
older,
cream
got to be
discipline.
smarter. Yes. Yes, exactly. And it's not just Ben and Jerry's. Like I love like ice cream bars, cones, softs. I love all kind of ice cream. So it's like once I got it, it's not one thing I got to cut out. It's probably about 10 different kinds of ice cream. I can't even go in the ice cream section at Walmart or anything.
And you're at the beach
addict.
right now. You probably are hearing the ice cream truck every now and then. Is that
Oh yeah. But I'm still 6 weeks out, so I'm okay for now.
You can make a run
Oh,
to the
it's-
ice cream truck, no big deal.
Oh, and I have. There's a if anybody's watching this, ever go to Carolina Beach, you guys got to go to Britt's Donuts. Oof.
All right.
We my family's like favorite thing. We've stopped there every day. We've gotten a couple dozen each day, and they're unbelievable. That's like one of the main reasons we come to Carolina Beach is so we can get the donuts.
Bridge donuts, they're called?
Brits.
Oh, Brits.
Britts.
All right.
Yep.
Shout out Brits. Maybe get some free donuts after that nice product placement there on the sly.
Oh yeah.
Now, I've also heard you're also a big Monster Energy guy. Is this true?
Yeah, I don't like carbonation, so I don't drink any soda or anything. So the only ones I drink is the Monster Rehab because they're non-carbonated and one of the guys on my team, actually Jaden O'Farrell, who just won Fargo, his dad was the one who was telling me about it. And so ever since then I always get the tea and lemonade flavor and I had one of those too yesterday. So I'm living my best life out here.
Yeah, Ben and Jerry's, donuts, and then the Monster
Rehab.
Monster Rehab. That is a combo. That is.
It is a combo.
Yeah.
And lots of steak. Lots of steak.
Now we're talking. You are on vacation.
Diet of Champions right there.
I'm living life. That's for sure.
Good. Well, it's fun.
Well, I think Kozak, I think we had some questions from the fans
Yeah.
that they wanted to ask Jax.
Yeah, a lot of questions that we took on Twitter, and then even the YouTube chat stepping up. So a lot of the ice cream talk, which I think, Jack, you proved yourself that you really know ball by just rattling off the
Certified ball
the
nerd.
top 5. You didn't even have to think about it. But
Oh yeah. I could have kept going too, probably.
yeah, in that same vein, I think that got people in the chat thinking about how big you're going to get in college. So one of the questions in the chat was, what's the highest weight that you feel that you can grow into in college? And that's from Carter in the YouTube chat.
That's a good question. I know a lot of people compare me and David. And so it's like David was small in high school and got big. So my thing is my dad's 6 foot. So I think it all depends on if I get taller. If I stay the same height, I don't see me getting above like at max like a 57. But if I could grow another inch, 2 inches, maybe even 3 inches, I mean I could get to a 65, maybe even a 74, depending on just how tall I get. But if we stop with the fantasies and think about realistically with me not getting much taller, I mean maybe 49, 57, I think, but that'd be the biggest. But I like you guys know I'm real big into to freestyle and trying to make world teams. So like 41 I feel like is a good like sweet spot for me where I can still go 65 or like I'll be feeling good. So, but obviously I still got a lot of years. So, I mean, we're thinking 4 years from now, who knows how big I could get. I mean, I lift, but I don't lift to put on size. So I might get real big.
Cool. All right. Another question from Mr. Gopnik. Jax, you ever trained overseas, or would you ever like to? And if so, where would be your spot to train overseas?
No, I've never trained overseas. I mean, I've only gone overseas to wrestle twice, and it was at Cadet Worlds in 22 in Italy, and then most recently in Monterrey, Mexico. And I've only gone there to compete and then come back. But I would love to go overseas. I know Coach Zoe, he's from France, so I think sometime in the future we're gonna go over there and train and go to Paris, see Paris, and which that'd be really cool. But I want to go to Dagestan sometime. I mean, you hear all the stories and stuff about it. I think that'd be really cool. But
Two, three
there's a lot
years
of places.
forget.
Exactly. But I love traveling. I love like food in other countries. So like I want to go overseas to these different places and just eat some food and train and just see how it's different than the US.
Did you schedule any time after Worlds to stick around Europe because you'll be in Croatia? There's a whole bunch of stuff over there, or are you just coming
Not
right
too
back?
much. I wrestle the 13th and 14th, and then I leave the 17th. So there was a couple days we're gonna get out and see what Zagreb is about. Maybe go to another place, but I know like the acclimation camp is in Germany, so I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Be there for like a week or something before we go over to Croatia. So that'll be exciting. I mean, there's two countries that I've never been to that are going to be fun, I'm sure.
yeah. Well, you're going to be checking off countries in no time, and in a
Yeah,
few
I know
years, you're
that
going to be
that's
a seasoned vet when it comes to traveling.
that's the goal, right? Keep them coming.
All right. Lunsford Loves Wrestling asks, what's the biggest difference between wrestling top level high school guys and the top senior level guys?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like nowadays some of the top level high school wrestlers are the top level senior guys. So I mean, I mean, they're one and the same now, but like wrestling, it all depends on feel. I feel like some guy, especially for me, because I wrestle so differently. It's like some of these high level high school guys they're really hard for me to wrestle just because that's just the way they wrestle. Where these senior guys, they don't know me. It's just a little different. But I know like a couple years ago, like I would like Luke Lilledall, we had a lot of matches where we went back and forth, and it pretty much felt like a senior level match. Like it was like a low scoring, a lot of action, not a lot of scoring. I've had matches with Marcus Blaze in the last couple years. I mean, so it's like it's very similar, I think.
Cool. All right. Deadly Gopnik asks, what's your favorite college, U.S., and international wrestlers?
My favorite college wrestler growing up, I really liked David and Ed Ruth. I was never like a big fan of like a single college, but I really liked those guys just because like they would score a lot of points. When I was younger, I really liked cradles, and those two guys would I feel like they'd cradle everybody. But internationally, I didn't start watching like international till like a couple years ago. But like since I started watching it, like Satiev, he hits a slide by kind of similar to me. He kind of scrambles in a similar way as me. So watching his matches and trying to emulate some of the stuff he does. And a lot of people actually say him and my dad look really similar. So that was it's It's pretty cool. A lot of people say that. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I can see the resemblance. A little
Yeah,
bit,
that's
a
what
little
like
bit.
the first one who said it, who started saying was Esposito, Zach Esposito at NC State, and he would say it all the time, and my dad got a real kick out of it.
Yeah, they're worse guys to be compared to than one of the
Yeah, oh,
all-time
no
goats.
doubt. Yeah, oh yeah.
Cool. All right. JB the Hawkeye asks, have you gotten to train with RBY much?
Yeah, I trained with him a good amount. I trained with him more leading up to the Open, but since like after the Open, he did the one tournament in Mongolia, I want to say, and then he's been gone in Japan for a little while, so I haven't been able to go with him as much recently, but I've trained with him a good amount, and he is fast. He's really good, really good.
Yeah. All right. CB asks for Jax, are you ready to prove you're the best 61 kilogram wrestler in the world? And then I have an add on to that. How much do you watch like the other 61 kg guys, the top level guys? Maybe give us your high level thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not sure right now. I don't think I'm ready to. I'm on the beach. I'm on vacation. I'm not ready to prove anything yet. But I know September 13th and 14th I'll be ready to prove a lot. But the other question, yeah, I my dad and Coach Lee Roper. They are the ones who watch a lot of the film, and then my dad's really good with it. He will like write down a lot of the stuff they do, and we've watched or he's watched Agoyev and Hartunian a lot. So those are the two. We wrestled yesterday, and he was trying his best to give me the feel of a 134 pounder as a 6 foot, almost 200 pound guy, but. I watch a little bit, not as much. I usually just get the information from others and then try and figure out what I'm gonna do.
Nice. All right, last question, and this is from Wrestle Madness, having to do with your dad, your family. He said, is there one thing specifically, or maybe a couple things, that he's done to help your talent and your love for wrestling grow at the same time?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that my dad's been doing recently, and then I'll go back to younger, but recently he hasn't said, "Hey, you have to do this to beat Vito. You have to do this to win World. You have to do this to win the Open." He's been super like if we want to keep getting better, this is what we got to do. Like he's been doing a really good job with me of not focusing on the things I have to do and focus on just ways of getting better and having fun with the sport. And, being away from him and my family, it's been hard. But, he's still calling me and I'll tell him about how practice goes. And he's like, all right, that sounds good. But we got to make sure you didn't talk about doing X, Y, and Z. So we got to make sure we're still doing that. He's like, maybe you are doing it, maybe you're not, but I'm not there to know. So I just want to be there and let you know like what you got to be making sure you're doing. But growing up, he um he did a really good job traveling like with me and letting me travel by myself different times. He did a really good job. Like we would go as me and my dad and my brothers, we would go to Pennsylvania to train, obviously when we were living in North Carolina, but he would go with us and we would get some food. He would watch our wrestling practices and then when we got a little older, he'd be like, all right, you guys are old enough, like figure this out on your own kind of thing. Like we got a family, the Corbin family, who we grew up with and were really close to, but we would stay with them at their house during the summer. So it's like we kind of matured earlier, and I think that's why I'm able to do what I'm doing at a young age because he did a lot of hands on with us and he did a lot of hands off, and I think that's the best way. You can't be too much hands on and you can't be too much hands off. I think it's finding that right balance is where you're going to find a lot of success.
Cool. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Jax, this has been awesome. This has been great. Is there anything else you want to add, thank, promote, shout out, whatever, before we let you get back to vacation?
Yeah, it's my grandpa's 85th birthday today, so they're actually driving down to
Let's go.
to the beach house. So he's probably watching this right now, and so happy birthday, Papa.
Yeah. Hey, I got a quick question before you go. You're at the beach. You got your fam there. What do you guys do? Are you a board game family? Are you let's go outside and do spike ball or beach volleyball or something?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys video games? What's the big Forest vacation activity?
We're a big movie family. We watched Happy Gilmore 2. Yeah, we watched some of the Marvel movies, but we with the little one, he tries to play games, but he just doesn't like know them. So it's like the games are kind of hard. We sit out and talk a lot. We've been yesterday. We actually we went boating, and so pulled the tubes behind that kind of stuff. Went to like a little island, and we're just hanging out, swimming, playing on the beach, stuff like that. But
Nice.
me and my brothers, Jaeger and Jameson, and then the little one Jude, we're with each other a lot, and we pretty much just fight with each other nowadays.
Classic.
We
All
just
right.
have fun with each other.
Next movie night, you get to pick. What are you throwing in, or what are you pulling on the remote?
So I started watching a couple like the beginning of 22 Jump Street. So I think that's what I want to finish that one again. But that's one of my favorite movies. It's so funny.
Yeah, good one. Maybe not for the little ones yet, but still,
Not for the little
still
one. No,
pretty
that's
good.
where Jude. That's when Jude's in his nap time or something.
Yeah, cool.
Well, Jax, thank you. We'll let you get back to a vacation.
Oh yeah. Yes, thank you guys. I appreciate being on.
Yep.
Good talking to you guys.
See you, man. Jax
All right.
Forrest, ladies and gentlemen.
Jax Forrest on vacation, taking time
I know.
to chat with us.
On vacation. Very
Yeah.
appreciative of it. And there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, it's always funny to see, navigating such high level competitions, world championships, and it's also like, yeah, I'm also a high school kid that's going to be hanging out with his family on vacation and
Slugging Monster Rehab.
yeah, eating some Ben and Jerry's, even though maybe I shouldn't be, but a lot of fun. Good kid.
I'm impressed by the ice cream knowledge. The way he was able to just go through the flavors, you know he lives that life.
He's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Kozak,
Yes.
what's up with U17 Worlds?
Oh yeah.
Morgan Turner just won gold, baby.
Woo!
Yeah, her second U17 gold medal, 3-time U17 world medalist.
She's a savage.
Yeah,
Not bad.
I believe at least the only ever for Team USA. And then let's see, the women's team's doing really well. Madison Healy also won bronze. So we
Shout out
have,
Madison Healy.
let's see, a bunch in the finals from today, or 2 in the finals from today. Ebenezer Ellison and Taina Fernandez, and then 2 going for bronze, Macy Elliott and Jacqueline Bousakis.
They got pulled into rep.
Mm-hmm. Well, no,
Oh, they lost in the semis.
They lost in the semis.
That's right.
And then Ella Polillo is still wrestling for bronze in an hour or so.
Coming up.
Yep.
All right, so 2 medals in the bag already. 2 more, at least silvers from the women that started today,
We could have 3 more bronzes.
and then 3 more potential bronzes.
Yeah, and so looking at team
out of 10,
score,
not bad.
Looking at team score, we were behind India by about like 25-ish points. So we probably made up a little bit of ground. I'll have to do the math here in a little bit.
Yeah, that's some more award-winning graphics we got to crank out.
Yeah.
Japan in third.
Japan in third. Yeah, and I don't think Japan can catch USA.
What's going on with Japan? The downfall of Japan?
It's over.
Did
That's what
CP
everyone
will
says.
this?
It's
Did
over.
CP will this?
Yeah. If this is what's happening in women's freestyle,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
Imagine what's going to happen on the men's side. So, that's what everyone's saying.
And that's on top of 3 Greco bronze medals for U17, which I think is a record as well for Team USA.
It could be. Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah,
believe that's-
3 bronze out of 10. That's, you don't want to patronize and say like, well, that's good for Greco, but hey, let's celebrate those wins.
Do you actually think this is a sign of all the other countries actually catching up with Japan, and it will reflect on the senior level in, I don't know, 5-6 years?
I like to think so. I think that senior level, it's going to be hard for anyone to catch the system that Japan has, and just the way they are able to produce the top level talent over and over again.
Yeah, but they used to be dominating cadet worlds too, all age levels, and obviously now they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely other countries catching up, the U.S. getting deeper. I think your elite Japanese female wrestlers may still be a step above, but I think for a tournament like this where you need a lot of depth, I think the fact that Fargo is continuing to set records for female participation, you had 2,500 entries this year of shattering the last record, which has been shattering records for the last whatever since you started. That does start showing up at a tournament like the U17 Worlds. And where Japan had a leg up, which I don't know if it gets talked about enough, but their women's college development is the same as the men's. And they don't have the same level of college wrestling as in the U.S. Their championships aren't, attended by, 15,000 people and et cetera, et cetera. But they do have, if you are going through high school wrestling in Japan, their federation has programs at some top universities, and everybody has a men's and women's team. And so if you were looking for options to continue doing a sport, just like all their other Olympic sports, or if you want to do baseball or something else in Japan, they have a good university system that's actually fairly similar to the U.S., a little bit smaller scale. So now that, we got Iowa with a team, you got Lehigh starting a team, you got club teams going to places like Oklahoma State, and you have all the other programs that are still out there, McKendree, King, Life, teams that are, providing opportunities for women to continue to compete in wrestling as they age out of high school, then you're going to see more success as it becomes more of a viable option for the women. So that's a long-winded way of saying yes.
Okay.
So men's freestyle starts tomorrow morning.
Yes.
3:30 a.m. or 3
Eastern.
a.m. is Eastern time. And starts tomorrow. Women's finishes up tomorrow, so we'll have a final team race tally tomorrow.
Yeah, we should all be staying up. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, on the West Coast, it's basically just midnight.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And we definitely live on the West Coast and not in Central Time.
No, but there could be people watching the show right now from the West Coast.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little all-quarter century team. 197 was the weight this week. The results are in. I don't know if we published results yet. I feel like we break it on Thursday.
I think everyone kind of knows the results.
We do this every Thursday. It's like, have we published it yet? Well, I guess we're just going to talk about it.
Yeah, I think it comes out today. But the finalists were Cale Sanderson, Jaden Cox, Jake Varner, and Damian Hahn.
Pretty good.
You want to take a stab at who the winner was?
Even though it's just 2 years in the quarter century, which we are considering,
In 1 year at 197.
and only 1 year at 197, but I think we kind of adjusted here and said, all right, let's put Cale at 197.
Yeah.
Because he's going to win no matter what weight you consider him at, and there were so many other people at 184, and since we're only considering 2 of the years, and it's 50-50,
Also, that was probably his best year. Was his
senior year, he's just
He was,
absolutely slaughtering people.
yeah. So it was Cale.
Cale, num 1.
Cale, number 1. Jaden Cox, number 2. Third and fourth was close. It actually came down to it was tied with the fan vote, and so we had to go to tiebreakers here internally and send it to a vote. And Jake Varner came in third. Damian Hahn.
And now, have we officially published our internal tie-breaking procedures, or people just have to trust us?
I don't
that it
think
was
so,
fair?
but it was fair.
Yeah. It's not quite the Hodge Trophy, so if you don't appreciate the way we did things non-transparently, then too bad.
It's also for third and fourth.
Third team and fourth team. They considered it a tie if you really want to.
Right. But I think Jake Varner should have been number 3.
Oh, wow, the Cyclone fan thinks Jake Varner
Oh,
should
yeah.
be. Yeah. How about 2 Cyclones in there?
Well, yeah. But to plead my case for Jake Varner, 1. Certified Hoss.
Yeah. Did you do the post where...
I did the Jake Varner.
Yeah, that sounded like like some JD copy there. It was a good graphic, because then what was it? It's like he listed all the stuff, and then one of them was just like frequently pinning dudes in tilts. In a half Nelson.
Which he did. He would pin Division I dudes in half Nelsons.
Was he ever at like a camp or something that you did in Iowa?
Not that I remember, but I mean, maybe, probably. When
Yeah.
I was really young. Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to tarnish Damian Hahn,
You can't tarnish Damian Hahn, a great New Jersey legend.
but don't think he ever had an undefeated season. Jake did.
Okay.
Jake, more pins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake made a senior level world team while in college.
Did Jake ever wrestle one of my friends in high school, Todd?
Not that specific one. I don't think so.
He never wrestled Todd. So,
So,
yeah. I don't know if we can officially break that tie in the way that you would like us to. No, Varner did awesome stuff. He also, I mean, it's how much you consider international stuff. I think for Jaden, who there's a lot to talk about, he made the Olympics while still in college. He won an Olympic bronze.
Yeah.
And then came back and medaled again in 2017. That was technically after his college career. But it's like he's proven that he is, a level above. And he was, placing at the World Team Trials in 2015 when he was a true sophomore. And Varner, I think, did all of his international achievements after college. So I didn't factor any of that in there. But you can just say, like, hey, if you need any proof that this guy is a certified Haas, as you called him, look at all the, Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
And a bronze before that. His Olympic bracket was got a little weird with injuries and guys being unable to wrestle. But he proved that he proved that he was an elite guy the year before by earning bronze. And
He's kind of also built for the ball draw era.
Some of his matches are tough to find highlights of. If you're going back and want to create
Not in college though.
No.
I made the highlight we posted on Instagram of him, and we only had a couple matches of his because we didn't really have college wrestling on Flow back then. But
a lot.
Yeah, but it was easy to find highlights then. He would just ankle pick, fucking smash your face, take you over.
Did have that great ankle pick. Thanks, Coach Kale.
Varner did make a world team while in college.
That's what I said.
Right? And then he
2009, and then he didn't in 10, and then 2011 is when he won bronze.
Won bronze, and that his.
No, 2010 was his senior year.
Okay.
So that was a year after.
Yeah.
So we had 3 guys on the list make world teams while in college.
Correct. Kale, Jaden,
yeah.
and Varner.
Kale didn't wrestle, right?
Kale's like, thanks for making the team, but I got to focus on this undefeated record that's never been done before.
Yeah.
I got to make history and prove that I'm the GOAT. Understandable.
Probably the only weight in our quarter century team where we had 3 guys make a
Gotta be.
team, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about if we did the all quarter century team, but we just, whatever reason, started in like 2023 to get all of Kale's years, he would be a 184 pounder. You pretty much have to be, probably. And then Jaden would be, I would say, first team pretty clearly. And Jaden's career is, I don't know, maybe his international maybe overshadows it, but as a collegiate athlete, he did some crazy things. Coming out as a true freshman, didn't redshirt, won a title, and then his sophomore year, he took 5th, but his 2 losses came at the in the NCAA tournament.
Right. And Kyle Snyder was in the semis. And then who did he lose to?
I believe it was McIntosh.
Yeah.
He has several wins over.
Mm-hmm.
I got to research some of that doing the post of Jaden, if you guys get to see that, the award-winning highlight that I made. There were a lot of highlights from Jaden, and he is often described as an alien, the Matrix, because there's a glitch, and he's just the way he can teleport from side to side and make people look silly is pretty amazing.
Pound for pound, number 1 sweater.
And then Sweat, yeah. There's a couple when you Google Jaden Cox, there's a couple interviews, especially like back in like 2014, 2015, where it's just the title of it is Jaden Cox is one sweaty dude. We titled our interviews a little differently back in the day.
It's a different era.
It was a different era, a fun era. But then, and then junior and senior year, no Hodge Trophy, but like he was just appointment viewing. He was pound for pound discussions. He's just, there it is, 2018 World Cup. Okay. Look at that, a classic Bader.
Yeah, Mark Bader, the uploader there.
One sweaty dude. He is a guy where if you're doing post-match interviews and it'll depend on the event or whatever, but, you often shake guys' hands. Thanks for your time. You got to be ready with like a paper napkin or a towel or something after doing that.
No hugs for Jaden after his match.
No. I did see Jaden. It was the 2018 U.S. Open. And he wins that, and then that was when we were interviewing guys for Final X. We would like take him to a room and do like longer interviews. And so I had the job of like wrangling people and like getting them to go to the interview room. And Jaden's standing there, he's in a singlet. Some kid goes, "Jaden, give me your singlet." And he goes, "Okay." And he just takes his singlet off down on the floor of the U.S. Open.
Just stripped down to the drawers.
And then he's wearing his underwear, and then he hands the kid this just
disgusting
soggy,
singlet.
wet singlet. I'm like, wow, congrats. Like you're gonna. You got to figure out a way to transport that. But then, he had shorts that he put on or whatever.
Jaden, I feel like, unfortunately, is a guy who gets overshadowed a little bit because we talk about the golden age of USA Wrestling that we've had for the past decade. And sometimes he gets left off of the list of, Burroughs, Snyder, David Taylor, but he should absolutely be included.
Yeah.
Because, he was as much of a staple as them.
If he would have wrestled in like early 2000s, he would have been like the face of USA Wrestling,
Yes.
and like no comparison, where he's like the best of the era. But because, like you said, he was in the mix with all the other guys.
An Olympic medal, 2 golds, and then 2 other world medals.
Yeah, I think he did take silver, bronze, or
I think
two
he's
bronze.
a silver and a bronze, 2 golds at 92, and the Olympic medal at 80.
2 bronzes.
2 bronzes.
2 bronzes, a silver, 2 golds, and then a Olympic bronze.
Olympic bronze over Salas. That was a weird match.
Yeah, 6 total World Olympic medals.
Yeah, that's like a haul that Americans were not getting between the years of like 97 and 2010.
Taking it back kind of to the all-quarter century team, one guy who might have gotten snubbed, not pandering to our Cowboy fans here, but Rochalt
Yeah.
might have an argument to be in this discussion with 3 titles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but he's right in that Damian Hahn level.
If you want to count rings,
If you just,
Damian 2, Varner 2, Rochalt 3.
I wonder if the fact that Damian's been a head coach and his, the little name recognition,
Right.
So you you pick up a couple points there with Rochalt. Well, he did MMA for a little bit,
I think maybe a couple fights.
but nothing. Yeah, and then continued on with his life. Just wasn't in the wrestling sphere as much by not coaching, or at least at the level that Damian has been coaching.
Yeah.
Any other? Andy always does. Andy Hamilton, who's the spearheading, brains behind the whole operation, has been writing awesome recaps and just making sure to list guys that were right on that bubble there. I always like to.
Go check out those articles.
Anybody else?
Website. Quentin Wright was an honorable mention.
Yeah.
He just didn't have some of the regular season.
Yeah, he's got Phil Davis in there.
Another MMA Penn State guy.
Yeah, Cam Simez, Max Dean,
Yep.
Stephen
Some
Buchanan.
Cornell guys.
AJ Ferrari, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen Buchanan. 3 schools.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's going to be a lot more common going
Literally
forward.
the first person to ever All-American at 3 different D1 institutions.
He's the OG of that.
Probably won't be the last.
Someone's going to do
Today's era.
4, at some point.
Could anyone do it this year?
AJ?
Yeah. There we go. He paved the way.
Didn't
for
take
AJ,
long.
Yeah. Okay.
Buchanan walked so that Ferrari could zoom.
That's right. All right, let's get to some questions from you all, our friends. But before we do, I want to talk a minute about our friends at Athlete PS, the Nike Inflict Force. We got them right here on our desk in these cool cowboy colors for our friend Jax Forrest on today's show. Getting to the top of the podium is tough, and staying on the top is even tougher. The Nike Inflict 3 has been the most popular shoe in college wrestling, but after years in the lab, the all-new Nike 4 Inflict is available now. Lightweight, durable, and with a match-ready feel the first time you laced them up, the best shoe in the game is now even better. Out now in 8 colors. Get the all-new Nike Inflict 4 at athleteps.com.
I think these would be good for the beach, and I'll tell you why. I'm trying to think of new uses for wrestling shoes, so you have an excuse to wear them, when you're not just on the mat wrestling or whatever. Sometimes that sand gets really, really hot, and you're wearing sandals, and then you're walking on the beach, and the sand gets trapped between your foot and the sandal or the flip-flop or whatever, and it's
Did you say Fandle?
sandal or flip-flop.
Okay.
I don't think I said Fandle. Maybe. But when you have a nice closed-toe shoe here, like a wrestling shoe, you're going to keep a lot of that sand out, and they're also super lightweight. So you wear them on the beach, you take them off or whatever. So maybe I'll give them a shot.
Sure,
On the
maybe.
beach,
I
yeah.
probably won't take you up on that, but
well,
some people might.
You don't have to. I don't care what you wear on the beach. You wear those dirty Birkenstocks. You need to glue them together.
Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah. You know where those belong? in the trash.
Nope. Right on my feet.
All right. Some questions. First one, which U17 World Team member in men's freestyle will surprise the world the most?
Ooh.
Who's going to surprise the world?
Sile,
I can pull up the.
Right.
I can pull up some of the.
It depends.
Flip a roster.
All this depends on your familiarity. I feel like
But you
Jaden,
can't pick somebody. Yeah, you can't pick like Jaden James.
but that could still surprise people that aren't
If it kills everybody.
super plugged in.
Well, that's because he's also at 71, which is notoriously tough at U17s. But Jaden James is almost a household name at this point. Like Sammy Sanchez, he's won it before, so I feel like you can't pick him. Can't pick Keegan Bassett. His brother literally won this weight a couple of years ago.
You can pick anybody you want. You can just say that they're going to surprise people.
Well, I really like Gray Burnett. I think he's really tough. 55 is going to be a tough weight at U17s, but I'm not saying he's going to win it. But he's a guy I'm putting my finger on. I really like him.
Yeah.
Keeganov's already got a world medal, so
Double up.
if you can double up, I think the last guy to do that at age levels was Braxton Amos at U20s in 22. Yeah, so or 21. So that would be pretty impressive. That would surprise me getting that done. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, I like Araya Mills at 48. Guy, he seems like he really loves the spotlight, really loves to be in big moments. So I'm looking forward to watching him on the international stage. Be a good one.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Global Wrestling Order asks, will Kajev be pound for pound number one if when he wins 86 kilos?
If when? Wow. If when he wins gold in a field that will have Zahid Valencia, who looks excellent right now.
And Ramazanov and Kadi.
Kadi Magomedov could just decide to go berserk mode.
Well, if Sidikov goes and wins, though.
And yeah, if Sajalayev wins,
How would
Tasman?
Yeah.
whoever wins 97, assuming that it's one of the
Whoever
top
wins
guys.
97, if it's Taz or Snyder, is going to, or Sajalayev is going to be pound for pound number one.
And then Sidikov will be able to be in that mix if he wins 74.
So Kajev not number one, but he'll probably be like, I don't know,
4,
yeah,
3, if
maybe,
he wins.
he might break top 5.
That's a good guy to be more familiar with now if you're an international wrestling fan.
Yeah. Also, we probably should talk about it. There's a chance that Sajalayev might not be at Worlds this year.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
There's some news on that because he did not get into Slovakia where the European championships were, the senior level European champions. And he was trying to. And then it was some visa stuff, correct, John?
Visa stuff. He did things the wrong way when one of my international wrestling friends was telling me this. Hedgehog Day on Twitter. If you don't follow him, he's great. But he was kind of explaining it to me. Sajalayev got a travel visa to go to Spain, and then he tried to use that visa to go to Armenia. So he tried to enter Romania. So Sajalayev tried to enter Romania the wrong way, and they denied him. And they put a stamp on his passport that said he's not allowed to go to a Schengen country. I think is that right, Spay?
Yeah.
You can correct me if I'm wrong at any of this point. But for 5 years.
Yeah, that information, I'm just trusting you and Hedgehog Day, Hedgehog Day would never lie to you or anybody.
Right. Great man.
But yeah, the Schengen region it's kind of like the EU. It's just all the countries agreed that, all right, we all have the same general framework for passport control for customs, meaning like if you can get into the Netherlands, then France is fine with letting you in as well. And it's mostly all the Western European countries, a lot of the Eastern European countries, just no most of the old Yugoslavia, Albania, they're not in. And then some of Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, they're not in either. Turkey's not in there. And then the UK and Ireland, they're islands. They do things a little differently. But so, yeah, Norway and Switzerland, which are not in the EU, are also part of the Schengen zone. And so theoretically, I could understand where Sajalayev was coming from. It's like, hey, I got this passport to go to this one country. It should be the same to get into Romania on the eastern part of the Schengen zone and Spain on the western part. But when your country is invaded another country and doing bad things, and you're on a whole bunch of sanction lists, and you got a lot more scrutiny, for better or for worse, if you're a Russian traveler that might not have anything to do with the geopolitics of your country, but you still have a Russian passport. You probably want to make sure you're crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's when it comes to travel.
If this denies me a Taz Sajlive rematch, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, just
I need it. I need it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna boycott Schneegen.
Every country.
Shagan.
Well, that's so. John, didn't you discover that on the UWW events page that the World Championships?
Well, it's either. So right now they haven't announced where the next
26
3. So usually they do like 3 at a time leading up to the Olympics, or 2 or 3 at a time. So Slovakia and Bahrain are 2 candidates
for
for 2026.
And it used to just be Slovakia, correct?
Right. So I think my thought is they added Bahrain because it might be easier to get everyone in there and not limit who gets a visa or how challenging it is for wrestlers to get visas.
If we need to move this year's Worlds to Albania to get Sajlive in, I say we do it.
Not to go too far down this rabbit hole, but the U.S. is one of the candidate hosts for 2027 Worlds, and obviously
Vegas, baby.
The 2028 Olympics are in L.A., but the U.S. is also getting criticized now for changes in the way that we have people come from different countries and approve their visas for sporting events and stuff. There was a 15 and under Little League baseball team that was coming to the U.S., I think maybe to go to Florida or something, from Venezuela, and that whole team got their visas denied because they, whatever the State Department said, it was kind of specious reasoning, saying that they were, the country is a threat, so we can't approve them. It wasn't because they messed up their paperwork; it was just straight up denied. And if you can so arbitrarily deny a Little League team of teenagers from Venezuela, is everybody going to get into the U.S. in 2027? If it's like, well, this country we like right now, this country we don't.
Had issues in the past too.
The only time someone's been denied was this is a fact, you can look it up and it's been reported, but Mikhail Mamishvili, the president of the Russian Wrestling Federation and a vice president of UWW, was denied a visa in 2015 to go to the U.S. Mm-hmm. The U.S. is not the only country that has denied Mamishvili a visa. Again, you can look that up as well. That's not speculation. So, beyond that, though, I don't think the U.S. has ever stopped an athlete from coming to the U.S. for wrestling. There was the issue with the Iranian wrestling team that was supposed to compete at Battle of the Ballpark in, 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we ever got the full story there. I don't want to speculate. I don't think it was because they were going to get denied visas from the U.S. because we just didn't like Iran. I think there was...
and I think a lot of them ended up getting their visas, but like 2 or 3 of them didn't. And I think it was a lot of them were coaches as well that didn't. So they're like, all right, if we all can't, then we're not going.
Yeah, but I think if they had followed every procedure that was
explained
to them,
brought their
I
passports.
think they would have got in. Yeah, that's... but again, I don't have the 100% full story on that.
Okay.
We need to get Hedgehog on that too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get him on the case. Hedgehog's on the case.
Awesome.
Okay. Next question. Mystic Matt asks, who do you think is the best wrestler on Team USA right now? Not resume, just skill.
Well, skill is a weird word, but you're basically just asking who's the best wrestler. You think pound for pound. I would probably say Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, going up the list, like, I don't know. I could still see someone saying like Dake's got the most complete. Oh no, Dake's not on the team. Or he was
Zahid.
It's probably between Spencer, David Carr maybe, Zahid.
I'm trying to think who like
Al Snyder, Wyatt. Those are probably top 5.
Who hits like back arches? Who hits suplexes?
Nobody
really.
On the men's team, on the women's team.
Jax kind of even said it though too. Is like he's still adding things to his arsenal. He is one of the more diverse guys, like in his offensive attacks, the way he can score.
Well, I talked about that after his match with Vito, where it was like he used to be so slide by and carry dependent, and he doesn't hit those as much anymore. He still does occasionally. I do think those are still probably his 2 favorite most used takedowns. But yeah, his arsenal is pretty wide now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Next question. This is more of like a personal question for all of us. Salty Walk-On asks, boys, what's left on your to-do list for the week, or the work week? P.S. Hi, Spay.
What's up, Salty?
A lot of U17 World stuff.
Pumping out tent like always.
Yeah, the award-winning graphics don't just make themselves, so I got to get back in the lab and cook up some more gold medal for Morgan, the first gold medal of the season
Of the World Championship season.
Yeah.
So a lot of U17 stuff. What else? What else we got? Poland. There's going to be wrestlers in Poland. We'll have some stuff on them.
Some Americans like Vito Rujo.
Yep.
Discussed already much today.
Yeah. Anything else? Oh, you guys should. We haven't talked about Tyler's weekly videos either.
Yeah.
He's not in the room, but Tyler's been pumping out the vlogs. He did the Bachman recruiting video last week. You should watch that.
Yeah,
What's he working on?
I believe our quest to find the best high school duel in the country. Not necessarily most ranked opponents, but all encompassing.
Yeah, you guys went on a little bit of a road trip, and then every other to-do list.
Flew
Yeah.
and just one at a time. But yeah,
Flight trip.
Okay, well, road
several
trip,
flight trips.
meaning just travel in general. I don't care how much time you spent on actual road versus the air.
So how many total did you guys go to last year?
Well, I think they were all technically this year.
This year.
Season. I don't know. 4. We were supposed to do 5, and then we had travel troubles getting into. We were going to go to Tuttle versus, forgive me, another Oklahoma school.
More visa problems.
Yeah, we had some visa issues in O'Hare. But yeah, so I don't know exactly how Tyler's editing it, so I don't know what all I want to give away. But yeah, we went to a handful of high school duels this past season to try and find what we'll determine is the best.
Yeah, I feel like you can say some more high schools. Like, that's not giving anything away, right?
I don't know. I don't know how to. I haven't talked to Tyler about.
Kind of hard to hype something when you don't.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow.
All right.
Right? Because it's going to come out
Every
Friday.
I can't. I will say this: the first one he's editing. The first one we went to is called the Assembly Match, at Detroit Catholic Central, and so how it kind of goes is they do it at 2 or 3 p.m. and it's like a assembly where they bring. It's an all boys high school.
Just the bros.
It's just a bunch of guys being dudes in this gym. They pack the gym because every student is required to come.
Mandatory.
Yes, and then they bring in another school. It was Davison this year. So obviously 2 of the best high schools in Michigan for wrestling that they have and that was like, we kind of judged it on categories. Like, okay, how is the quality of wrestling? What is kind of the history of the rivalry? The atmosphere was a huge one. I think we might have done one other kind of category that we judged it on. I can't remember, honestly. It was a while ago. But the assembly match, it was super cool.
Yeah.
So.
I'm looking forward to watching it. I know, like, this is one of the benefits. I know there was some commenters, questioners that were saying they missed Tyler, but this is the benefit of him not being here, is he gets to make more really cool videos.
Yeah, I mean, this is Exhibit A. We shot all this stuff in like January and February, maybe late December. In January, we went to all these with the idea of it coming out during the wrestling season, and then you just get busy, don't have time.
Yeah.
These videos require, I think, a lot more time than people realize to put together when you have a lot of footage you have to go through if you want to make a quality product. So
yeah. My favorite thing Tyler does is the musical cues. He really spends a lot of time finding music that fits the mood and times it up with the editing. It's a lot.
yeah, it turns out Tyler's a good video editor.
Yeah, pretty decent. Did you ever wrestle Detroit Catholic Central or Davison?
No. Well, we did wrestle Davison. It was during one of their down years. So we may have beat them in the duel. if we would have wrestled them in the state finals my freshman year, but we lost in the semis. So we lost
For state duels?
For state duels, yeah. So we lost to the team in the semis that ended up losing to them in the finals. And then Catholic Central, they host a big individual tournament every year also. And the year that we went to that, I was hurt, so never got to do that.
That's right. You missed a whole year. We covered this in our yearbook.
I broke my leg. I broke my leg. Yeah. But yeah, that was when we were talking about how I wrestled somebody named Arsenio Hall.
Oh yeah.
So,
and now there's Arseni Kikinov.
Yep. All right. Next question from Curbside Prophet: is 184 going to be the more unpredictable weight than 133 with Max, Ferrari, Sinclair, Ryder, Rocco, etc.?
I would say
it certainly can be,
but I feel like they're both kind of the same amount of predictable. Where you kind of got
your guys,
four guys who this guy's winning the title, whereas maybe a weight like 125 is maybe a little more unpredictable, where you feel like you have a handful of guys who can win the title and like 20 who can get on the podium.
We'll also have to see if an order kind of gets established during the season, and then if it stays that way for the NCAAs, or if it gets upended, because it's like they could end up, getting into a pretty predictable, ranking that then plays out the same way at NCAAs, and you go, all right, this is just where these guys are. They're all young guys. They all have 3 or 4 years left, and they may kind of establish themselves.
What could throw a wrench into that is Crookham at 133 not being in the Big 10 or Big 12, where he might not see, will Lehigh wrestle Penn State?
They do every year usually.
Yeah.
I think they were home last year, and it was in the Allentown has like a bigger arena.
I think it's
it
in
wasn't
Lehigh.
on campus. No, it's going to be at Penn State.
It'll be at Penn State?
Yeah.
I thought I remember Sion actually saying it was going to be in Lehigh.
Well, last year was a home duel for Lehigh, but they didn't have it on campus. They had it in a nearby town. Allentown is right next to Bethlehem, and they have like a minor league hockey arena where they had it.
So we will see either Blaze or Ono, or Davis or Nick Gow.
Yeah,
whoever ends up being
a lot of options.
33 for Penn State versus Crookham there. Okay.
And you also don't forget Zeth Romney is out in Pacific 12 land. So that's a guy that's not going to be on the Big Ten rotation.
Yeah, you look at 133, and I mean the amount of guys who could potentially make the finals, right? Lucas Bird, he just won last year. Ryan Crookham, Joey Kayala, Seth Romney. I think Zan would probably be a surprise, but he's still like surprise finalist. But he still like came on great at the end of the year. He's only a sophomore next year, so Ben Davino, Ragusan, Marcus Blaze, Richard Figueroa, like
Frost. Got to Frost.
Yeah. In there. So I think the amount of finalists at 33 compared to 84 is probably higher.
Yeah.
Like I can pull up 84 here.
I think the lower weights are just naturally going to be a little bit more wild and open, just because the guys are smaller and like crazier things can happen in matches. So you have, 125, 133. They start to settle down the more you go until you hit heavyweight, and then they're basically set in stone.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be very surprising if your NCAA final didn't consist of 2 of McAnally, Ferrari, Welsh, Ryder, Smith,
Sinclair.
Yeah, Sinclair. Sinclair's a good one to toss in there, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's still, 5 or 6 guys. But
it's a fun weight because it's really young at the top already.
Mm-hmm.
And could get, you could add 2 more freshmen into that mix.
Cool. All right. That might be it for the questions.
Shout out to everyone that asked a question, even though CP tagged the wrong Spay Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Did he really?
Look at what he tagged here. So he said, send your FRL questions for Raider and Kozak John, and then he just tagged at Spay, and it's a purveyor of fine pearls and little luxuries.
I definitely tried to get them to give me this account at one point.
Oh, man. There's a guy I've been messaging for a couple of years.
It's Kozak.
That is just at Kozak.
But he never tweets, but he always responds, right?
Yeah, he's a magician. Let me pull him up.
You're getting cucked by a magician.
But yeah, Paul Kozak, comic
Come on,
magician,
Paul.
artist. His last tweet, April 18th, 2024.
Oh, did
has
did he paint that? All right, this
If he
guy's
did,
talented.
he could do
Sorry,
better.
sorry,
No,
John.
I can do better than
You
that.
can paint something
I
like
can
that.
do better than that.
Look at that, oil on canvas. I love it. You got 2 yellows and a red.
So his last tweet, April 2024, he has a quarter of the followers that I have.
Yeah.
So,
Does he want anything in return, or is he just saying no?
I can pull up.
He shut you down.
He
Yeah, well, that
shuts me
stupid
down.
pearl store or a jewelry store, they don't even have 1,000 followers.
I don't bother him. Every 6 months, I send him a very respectful message.
You
And
could go find him. Look, he has his coordinates there. His iPhone coordinates.
I say, Paul,
snap.
so all right. So Paul, it's been 6 months. I think it may be time. And then he just says, never going to happen.
I kind of like this guy.
And then I go, fair enough. Talk to you in 6 months.
I'm gonna-
And then 6 months later, and then
Well, what did he say for the first one? Like, was he just like
uh,
hard no?
he said,
or-
sorry, no. That's it.
You were too late.
Well,
Look, he joined in 2008. This guy was a first mover.
No, honestly, I like this guy. He
Yeah.
just gained one more follower.
and I like his paintings. I'm going to buy one of these paintings. I could use
All right.
one for my home.
Well, if you're on my side, you should tweet at Paul or at Kozak.
Oh, he's not just a magician. He's also a comic and an artist.
Yeah, clearly an artist.
I don't know.
We
We'll
could all see evidence of that.
Well, Kosak, you got to bring something to the table. You can't just ask for the handle. You know, there has to be a
Make it worth his while.
yeah.
He's not asking for a lot. He just wants to wet his beak.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll bring something else to the table next time. It's usually every August and February is when I tweet him. So I haven't. It's been over a year since I've asked. So
I also I like the there's a Royal HMS Spey, which is a British like Navy boat that I like to tweet at. I don't want their handle. I want the jewelry store. I do want to take them down. But the HMS Spey, they go on all sorts of trips all over the world in their British naval capacity.
So you want to go on that ship?
I want to be like, what's up? They have a little coat of arms, and I'm like, this could be my coat of arms. It's
Maybe get a discount.
Yeah, be like, next time you guys are, in the Gulf of Mexico, let me know. I'll swing down, hang out, get my pictures with the HMS Spey.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever they're on a mission, I'm like, good job, guys.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you all again on Monday, normal time. See you then.
Bye-bye.